The third element. What is the flash sight picture?
You often hear it said that you don't use the sights in combat. Well, some people don't. They miss a lot, too. I've heard people analyze the studies of the New York PD and say, well, since we find that 67.381 of police officers who fire at felons don't see the sights, we think we better teach you not to use the sights because that's what you're going to do. I get very much annoyed when people tell me how to do things wrong. The fact that 9 out of 10 people do it wrong doesn't mean you should do it wrong. And yet we have this terrible drive for equality or something. So if everybody's going to be a klutz, let's all be klutzes. Huh? Well, that's not the answer. I have a perfect example of this. I once was told that the hit score in New York was 11%. And I wrote it down. I thought my authority was good. And somebody called me up in a rage from New York and said, what do you mean 11%? Why, our hit score last year was 16%. Well, pardon me all to hell. What I was talking about was 100%. Now, I can say this with some accuracy, though it's not perfect, but as you understand that not everybody who has been to school here and who has subsequently got into a fight has written me about it. But most have. It's my stock and trade. I need that information. And most people, we regard ourselves as friends, and if they get into a fight, they tell me about it. If their reports are true, the average, the hit score of gun sight graduates is 100%. Not 11, not 16. Therein hangs the tale, huh? So, we use the sights, and we use the sights always. We even use the sights when we can't see them. Now, that may sound paradoxical to you, but we'll show you that on Thursday night. You use the sights. When the flag flies, for not just marksmanship reasons, but for mental concentration and other things, when the flag flies, the thing that flashes in your head is front sight. Up to that point, you may have been talking, gee, am I in trouble? Am I going to have to shoot my way out of this? Who are those guys? What happens if I win? What happens if I lose? All that may be flashing through your mind. But once you decide to go, front sight in your mind. Now, what do you mean by a sight picture? A sight picture is illustrated in the books this way. Now, let's see here. Getting spastic today. With a square front post and a bullseye and a square rear sight. Now, that's the kind of sights most of us have. Square, square, square. But it's quite obvious that you can't see this, this, and this in the same focus because they're a different distance from your eye. Now, with a pistol, the sights are so close together so that when you're out there, the difference in focus between there and there is not very great. But the difference between there and there is great. You cannot focus on the target and focus on the front sight at the same time. It is not physiologically possible. So, since you can't see them both, what do you look at? Well, you let the target fur itself out, and you look at that.
Remember that it's essential to focus on your front sight and not on the target. Watch while the camera changes focus. Focus out. Now you see you're looking at the target. That is not what you do when you shoot. When you shoot, you look at your front sight. Focus in. Got that? Focus out. Focus in. When the action starts, you will be looking at your adversary. As your pistol comes on the line, you must remember to change your focus to the front sight. Focus in. Focus out. Focus in. That is your shooting picture.
Now that is your sight picture. And what do we mean by a flash sight picture? A flash sight picture means an instantaneous pickup. The target shot does this. He picks up his target out there, he aligns his sights very carefully, and he gently presses the trigger until at such point when it's right on, he's got a 10. A combat shot can't do that. He hasn't got that much time. A combat shot starts either in the holster or in combat ready. And he says, up, see it, down. That's a flash sight picture. you have to get used to the idea that you can pick up your front sight in its alignment with the rear sight like that. So that this evening, after we've done some shooting this way, your homework will be just that. It'll be down here, thumb on the safety, fingers straight, eyes on the target. Okay, as you come up, safety stays behind, slack comes out of the trigger, eye goes to there, and when you're on, and come down. Don't wait. As soon as you can pick up that front sight, let it go. Up, look, press down. And that's the way you achieve a flash sight picture. And you will do that tonight until you learn that you can never do it any other way. Then we can go on to higher and nobler things tomorrow.